The genre of R&B has been a major staple of music culture since the early 1900s. History's greatest artists made their mark on the world with the musical style of rhythm and blues, from Cab Calloway and Ruth Brown to James Brown and Stevie Wonder, all the way to artists of today who carry on the torch of telling musical stories of love and creating the soundtrack to our love lives. Black artists of yesterday are largely responsible for the popularity of groups and bands. The Temptations, Four Tops, The Miracles, Blue Magic, and The Supremes paved the way for every single group that came after them. In mainstream media, there's always going to be ongoing debate about the top 10 list of greatest athletes or rappers. But how often has the topic of ranking the best R&B groups come up? In this video, I'll be ranking the top 20 R&B groups of all time. While you're here, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and check out some of my other content on the channel. And without further ado, let's get into it. The criteria I'll be ranking each group will be as follows: the number of studio albums, the amount of records sold, domestic and/or worldwide, awards and nominations received from the Grammys and American Music Awards, Billboard Hot 100 and R&B chart history, and cultural generational significance. Disclaimer: this is an opinion piece that is relying on factual statistics rather than personal bias. This is not about which group is better and who has made the better music. Number 20, The Miracles. 25 albums, 1.7 million records sold, 0 Grammys, and 1 nomination for Best Rhythm and Blues Group Performance, Vocal and Instrumental for I Second That Emotion in 1968, 0 American Music Awards, and 0 nominations. They had 2 #1 singles with Tears of a Clown and Love Machine, and 5 singles that reached the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. 4 #1 singles on the R&B chart being Shop Around, You've Really Got a Hold on Me, Tears of a Clown, and I Second That Emotion, as well as 22 top 10s. Number 19, Jodeci. 4 albums, 6 million records sold, 0 Grammys, 0 nominations, and 0 American Music Awards, and 4 nominations. Favorite Soul R&B New Artist in 1993, and Favorite Soul R&B Band that same year and in 1995 and 1996. Jodeci had no #1 singles on the Billboard Hot 100 and just 1 top 10. 5 #1 singles on the R&B chart: Forever My Lady, Stay, Come and Talk to Me, Lately, Cry, and Cry for You. They also had 5 singles that reached the top 10. Tony Tone, who is one of my favorite R&B groups, has identical stats to Jodeci, but it can be argued that many R&B groups and solo artists that came after them were more inspired by Jodeci than the Tonys. What do you think? Number 18, Jagged Edge. They released 10 albums and sold 8 million records. 0 Grammys, but were nominated for Best Rap Song Collaboration in 2002 for their single, Where the Party At. No American Music Awards and 3 nominations. 0 #1s, with 3 reaching the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. 3 singles reached #1 on the R&B chart: Let's Get Married, Promise, and Where the Party At, and 2 singles that reached the top 10. I can honestly say that Jagged Edge has one of the best vocal harmonies and have made some of the best ballads like Best Man, He Can't Love You, and Healing. Number 17, Belle Biv DeVoe. 5 albums and selling 5 million records to date. What they lack in Grammy Awards and nominations, they make up for in winning 3 American Music Awards for Favorite Dance New Artist and Favorite Soul R&B New Artist in 1991, and Favorite Soul R&B Band the following year in 1992. Also being nominated for the latter, and Favorite Pop Rock Band the year before. No #1 Hot 100 singles, but 3 reaching the top 10, while 2 singles reached #1 on the R&B chart: Poison and BBD, I Thought It Was Me, and 4 reaching the top 10. The Foursome Ds may have beaten Belle Biv DeVoe to the punch, being one of the, if not the first group to fuse the genre of hip-hop and R&B, but Belle Biv DeVoe's stylistic contribution to R&B and hip-hop, as we know it, has definitely been set in stone, with Poison being a must-play at any event. Number 16, Escape. Releasing just 3 albums, but going on to sell 10 million records worldwide. No Grammy Awards and nominations, nor any American Music Awards, but they were nominated for Best Soul R&B Band in 1999. None of their singles reached #1 on the Hot 100, but 6 made it to the top 10. 4 singles made it to the top of the R&B chart: Just Kicking It, Understanding, Who Can I Run To, and 6 other singles reached the top 10. Number 15, The Whispers. Releasing 24 albums between 1970 and 2009 and selling 3.5 million records. 0 Grammys and no nominations, neither receiving an American Music Award, but were nominated for Favorite Soul R&B Band in 1982. The Whispers never scored a #1 pop hit, but one of their singles reached the top 10, having more success on the R&B chart with 2 #1 singles, And the Beat Goes On and Rock Steady, and 9 others reached the top 10. It took me a long time to find out that Will Smith sampled the Whispers on Miami. In the Mood by the Whispers is a peak R&B ballad that I had on repeat in the past. Number 14, The Gap Band. 15 albums and selling 4 million records altogether, only receiving 4 American Music Award nominations for Favorite Soul R&B Album in 1982, as well as Favorite Soul R&B Band. The Gap Band didn't have any #1 singles or top 10 success, but dominated the R&B chart at different times during their career. Burn Rubber on Me, Early in the Morning, Outstanding, and All of My Love secured the #1 spots, while 11 other singles reached the top 10 on the R&B chart. Yearning for Your Love would definitely be a part of the soundtrack of my love life, being one of the songs that never fails to tell my side of the story. Number 13, In Vogue. 7 albums and 20 million records sold worldwide. A frequent Grammy nominee with 7 nominations for Best R&B Performance by Duo or Group, Best Rock Performance between 1991 and 1997, also Best Music Video in 1993. They received 2 American Music Awards for Favorite Soul R&B Album in 1993 and Favorite Soul R&B Band in 1994. No #1s and 6 top 10s on the Billboard Hot 100. 6 #1s on the R&B chart. Hold On, Lies, You Don't Have to Worry, My Lovin', Giving Him Something He Can Feel, and Don't Let Go, with 2 reaching the top 10. Number 12, The O'Jays. 29 albums, the first being released in 1965 and the last in 2019. 7 million records sold, receiving 4 Grammy nominations for Best Traditional R&B Vocal Album and 3 Best R&B Vocal Performance by Duo or Group in 1974, 1975, 79, and 2002. They received 1 American Music Award and 5 nominations. The O'Jays topped the Billboard Hot 100 with Love Train, with 5 singles reaching the top 10, and had 10 songs reach the top spot on the R&B chart. Backstabbers, Love Train, Give the People What They Want, I Love Music, Living for the Weekend, Stairway to Heaven, Message in Our Music, Darling, Darling Baby, Used to Be My Girl, and Loving You, and 15 making the top 10. Backstabbers and Used to Be My Girl, Enough Said. Number 11, Destiny's Child. 5 albums and selling 60 million records worldwide, receiving 2 Grammys, 1 for the same category, Best R&B Performance by Duo or Group with Vocal in 2001 and 2002, also nominated 9 times, receiving 5 American Music Awards, Favorite Soul R&B Band, Favorite Pop Rock Album, Favorite Soul R&B Band, and Favorite Soul R&B Album in 2001, 2002, and 2005, also being nominated 3 times. Destiny's Child had 4 #1s on the Hot 100. Bills, Say My Name, Independent Woman, and Bootylicious. 10 reaching the top 10. 4 also reached the R&B chart top spot. No No No, Say My Name, Independent Woman, and Bills. And 11 other singles took spots within the top 10. Number 10, The Isley Brothers. Like some of the other groups ranked, the Isleys transcended generations by releasing 31 albums through the course of 7 decades, also selling 18 million records worldwide, rightfully winning 1 Grammy for Best R&B Vocal Performance and being nominated on 4 occasions, receiving their first and only Grammy in 1970, winning an American Music Award in 2003 for Favorite Soul R&B Band and being nominated 3 other times in 1984, 2002, and 2006. No #1s, but 4 top 10 on the Hot 100 and 7 #1s on the R&B chart. It's Your Thing, Fight the Power, The Pride, Take Me to the Next Phase, I Want to Be With You, Don't Say Goodnight, and Down Low. 20 singles secured a spot on the top 10. Number 9, TLC. 5 albums, 65 million records sold. To say that they were a successful group is an understatement, as the girl group won 4 Grammys, Best R&B Album, Best R&B Performance in 1996 and 2000, winning 1 American Music Award for Favorite R&B Band, Duo, or Group in 2000, and received 6 nominations. Having similar success on the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B chart respectively. 4 #1 singles, Creep, Waterfalls, No Scrubs, and Unpretty, along with 5 that made it to the top 10, 3 number 1 on the R&B chart, and 6 that reached the top 10. The number 1s being Baby Baby Baby, Creep, and No Scrubs. Number 8, the Pointer Sisters. The trio released 15 albums and sold 40 million records, winning 3 Grammys in 1975 and 1985, and nominated 7 times, winning 3 American Music Awards for Favorite R&B Band, Favorite Soul R&B Group, Video Artist. They never scored a number 1 on the Hot 100, but had 7 different singles reach the top 10. The sisters achieved a number 1 single with How Long, Bet You Got a Chick on the Side, and 5 reaching the top 10. When the greatest artist of all time sings your record in his spare time, you're officially goated by default. Number 7, Boyz II Men. The next edition of New Edition released 15 albums in total. They sold 64 million records worldwide, receiving 4 Grammys and being nominated 15 times. The 4 Grammy Awards being Best R&B Performance in 1992, 1993, and 1995, also winning Best R&B Album that year. The quartet won 9 different American Music Awards for Favorite Soul R&B New Artist, Favorite Pop Rock Song, Favorite Soul R&B Band, Favorite Soul R&B Single, Favorite Pop Rock Song, and Favorite Soul R&B Album. Boyz II Men took over the Hot 100 5 times with their hit singles End of the Road, I'll Make Love to You, On Bended Knee, 4 Seasons of Loneliness, and One Sweet Day. 6 singles reaching the top 10. Boyz II Men had 6 number 1s on the R&B chart. The number 1s being It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, End of the Road, I'll Make Love to You, and A Song for Mama, with 8 reaching the top 10. Number 6, New Edition. Releasing 7 albums and selling 20 million records. New Edition didn't receive any Grammys, but was nominated once for Best R&B Performance by Duo or Group with Vocal for If It Isn't Love. They received 2 American Music Awards, one in 1987 for Favorite Soul R&B Band and another in 1997 for the same category. New Edition only had singles that reached the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100, but achieved 5 number 1s on the R&B chart and 11 top 10s. The R&B chart toppers being Candy Girl, Cool It Now, Mr. Telephone Man, Can You Stand the Rain, and Hit Me Off. New Edition took a page for the Temptations and the Jackson 5, while every group that came after them took a page from them. Without New Edition, there would be no New Kids on the Block, Boyz II Men, Soul For Real, High Five, B2K, and I'm sure you all know the rest of what the list of groups would be. Not to mention that New Edition is the only group that was able to split up and have more success as individuals than as a collective. Bobby Brown selling over 13 million as a solo artist in just a few years' time, while Johnny Gill, Ralph Tresvant, and BBD would each go on to enjoy multi-platinum success on their own. Name one group where each member did the same. I'll wait. Number 5, The Supremes. Releasing 29 albums and selling an estimated 100 million records worldwide, receiving no Grammy Awards, but 2 nominations and no American Music Awards. What the Supremes lacked in accolades, they were compensated for it with their consistent success on the Billboard charts, scoring 12 number 1 singles, Where Did Our Love Go, Baby Love, Come See About Me, Stop in the Name of Love, Back in My Arms Again, I Hear a Symphony, You Can't Hurry Love, You Keep Me Hanging On, Love Is Here, Now You're Gone, The Happening, Love Child, and Someday We'll Be Together, as well as 7 top 10s, 8 number 1s on the R&B chart. Where Did Our Love Go, Baby Love, Back in My Arms Again, You Can't Hurry Love, You Keep Hanging On, Love Is Here, and Now You're Gone, Someday We'll Be Together, and Stone Love, and 16 singles reaching the top 10. Much like New Edition, the Supremes laid down the blueprint for all the woman-led R&B groups that followed them. Number 4, Kool and the Gang. They released 26 albums and sold 70 million records worldwide. They won 1 Grammy for Album of the Year for their appearance on the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack, and 3 nominations, 5 AMAs and 6 nominations, winning Favorite Soul R&B Group, Favorite Soul R&B Album, Favorite Soul R&B Group Video Artist in 1982, 1983, 1986, and 87, achieving 1 number 1 single on the Billboard Hot 100 with Celebration and 11 top 10s. 9 number 1s on the R&B chart, Hollywood Swingin', Higher Plane, Spirit of the Boogie, Ladies Night, Celebration, Take My Heart, Joanna, Fresh, Cherish, and 16 top 10s. Number 3, the Jackson 5 and the Jacksons, releasing 16 albums and selling 150 million records worldwide, receiving 3 Grammy nominations, Best Contemporary Vocal Performance for ABC in 1971, Best R&B Vocal Performance by a Duo or Group for Dancing Machine in 1975, and Best Vocal Performance by a Duo or Group for the Triumph album in 1981. The Jacksons were highly successful on both the Billboard Hot 100 and the R&B chart, scoring 4 #1 singles on the pop chart: I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. 7 singles reached the top 10, while 6 took over the R&B chart: I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, I'll Be There, Never Can Say Goodbye, and Dancing Machine. 21 of their singles would reach the top 10 of the R&B chart. Now let's pause for a minute. Now you might be wondering, why isn't the Jackson 5 number 1? If this was just based on my personal opinion, yes, the Jacksons would be number 1. Let's rewind back to Motown 25, which was a broadcast in celebration of Motown's biggest artists, including the Jacksons, who would eclipse the entire show, or rather, Michael Jackson's performance of Billie Jean would. If I were to include Michael Jackson's personal statistics, he would need an entire chart by himself. Michael became the greatest artist of all time, and his success as the lead singer of the Jackson 5 and the Jacksons took a back seat to what he would go on to accomplish as a soloist. The Jackson 5 would carry the torch for the Temptations and became the inspiration for every generation of solo artists and groups, male and female, but they were only active until the end of the 80s, whereas the top 2 would continue. As this list consists of traditional groups and bands, the next 2 are arguably the top 2 of each. Bands aside, Jackson 5 would be number 2. 2. Earth, Wind & Fire. Releasing 21 albums and selling 90 million records, winning 6 Grammys and 17 nominations, 4 American Music Awards and 12 nominations, achieving 1 #1 single on the Hot 100, Shining Star, and 7 top 10s. They would also rack up 8 #1s on the R&B chart: Shining Star, Sing a Song, Getaway, Serpentine Fire, Got to Get You Into My Life, September, Let's Groove, and System of Survival, as well as 20 top 10s. Number 1, The Temptations, releasing 43 albums and an estimated 25 million records worldwide. They won 4 Grammys and were nominated 9 times, also winning 2 American Music Awards and 2 nominations. Known to be hitmakers, they secured 4 #1s on the Billboard Hot 100. My Girl, I Can't Get Next to You, Just My Imagination, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and 13 top 10s, 15 #1s on the R&B chart: The Way You Do the Things You Do, My Girl, Get Ready, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, Beauty Is Only Skin Deep, and I'm Losing You. I Wish It Would Rain, I Could Never Love Another, Please Return Your Love to Me, Runaway Child, Running Wild, I Can't Get Next to You, Just My Imagination, Masterpiece, Let Your Hair Down, Happy People, and Shaky Ground, as well as 31 top 10s. With that said, if you had a top 10 or 20, what would they be? Let me know in the comment section below. If you made it to the end of this video, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Good luck.